So here we are, September 2017, Lac de Madine, France, and this is the World Carp Classic. It is the biggest carp angling event in the world. Anglers from all around the globe, they come here and they want to get their hands on, firstly, the fantastic prize table, but secondly, the prestigious trophy. It's game on, competition time. The World Carp Classic was the first ever professional global angling event. It attracts people from all around the world, and this year there's people from as far afield as New Zealand coming to take part. Now, it's been running for 19 years and it fishes at some of the biggest lakes in the world. This place, well, it's its spiritual home. It returns here again, and this is Lac de Madine. It started off here in 1998, and since then it's travelled to such massive lakes as Amance and the Orient in France. It's been to Bolsena in Italy, and last year it was held in the Czech Republic at a place called Nova Malinska. However, it's back at Madine now, and the anglers know this lake pretty well. They know where the fish like to feed, they know the tactics, but this year there are one or two twists.
It didn't start it yet, but it looks good, yeah.
It's much bigger than what we ever imagined, but yeah, hopefully get a nice peg and then fish it as well as we can.
Very nice lake. It's very big, yeah, some very nice big carps here as well. So yeah, we will see.
What would it mean to win?
For me, I think a lot, because to win here is a very big pleasure.
We've got more or a bigger team than ever. You know, three teams, more than 6 of us here. So yeah, you know, it's good to have a growing Spanish team.
What would it mean to win it?
It would mean a lot because you know, we're here to win. And Spain being such a small country and having a little bit more representation would make a big, big difference. And we want to take that trophy home, all of us do.
It's beautiful. Always is the perfect, yeah. The nice, you know, nice people. And we are happy we are in here. I would love to win this event, yeah.
The flag parade has just taken place to commence the start of the World Carp Classic. You can see everybody just lining in behind. We've got all the nations here joined together. They've just had official photograph. The trophy was brought up with the defending champions on the back of a horse-drawn carriage as well. So it's quite an occasion, this, you know, whether you're competing or whether you're the winner defending your title from last year. It really is quite a historic occasion. All the stops are pulled out. And it just puts carp fishing on a completely different level. Events like this are absolutely fantastic, they really are. With all the competitors in the main hall for the opening ceremony, it was a case of fingers crossed as the teams took their turns one by one to choose the place where they'll be fishing for the next 5 days. Let's have a look now at one of the Polish draws, and let's have a look at how this draw works. They receive from the marshals one of their markers. That will allow them to go out into the water and mark the spots that they're fishing. And inside that big draw bag there are all the numbered pegs from around the lake. It's a random draw, so they literally just pick out one number, and this is where they're going to live for the rest of the time. They hand the feather over. Not quite sure what that's for.
It is peg number 98 in the avid section.
So they're in the avid section, peg number 98 on the island. And the draw will continue like this all the way through until all of the pegs have gone. There's been a draw already to establish exactly who is going to come up first. It's a random draw order, and it's a random allocation of pegs as well. And this procedure will continue all the way through until all the pegs have been allocated.
And I think we're really, really lucky that we've got a swim where we think we can almost certainly, I mean, nothing certain, but we can catch carp from.
Yeah.
It's in the lap of the gods what size those carp are, because at the end of the day, when Rob and Tom won that from that swim in 2009, I think they won it, but they wouldn't have won it under the free fish rule, you know, because they didn't catch the free fish in the competition.
Exactly. You know? I think one of the keys really is just to fill your quota first, and if you fill your quota, then you're in the race.
To be honest, it's perfect for me, because all my life, apart from fishing for 2 fish in particular, all my life I've fished to catch as many carp as I can, and I hope that a few big ones come along the way. So, you know, that's all you can do. You know, just give it your big shot.
You've drawn the winning peg from last time at Madine. You clearly looked happy on the stage there.
Yeah, we are.
Really.
It's a dream swim, Rob. We could have wished for a better swim. We said if there is one swim, even we had peg draw number 98?
Yeah, 98. I told him 65. I have golden hands. I picked the ball. We get 65. So. Yeah.
It was very late, quite nerve-wracking as well, waiting for that to come out.
Yeah.
You knew it was in there.
Yeah, we were
in there.
scratching off all the pegs from, and we saw still this is our favorite swim. And then here's the lucky hands. I said it from the
golden
beginning.
hands. Golden hands.
You did the drawing, and he said I'm gonna pick it, and
Fantastic. Well, let's get serious now. You know, you can lose it at the draw, but you can never win it. All you do is you put yourself in a position that you might be able to win.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, last to draw there were some very good pegs in there. One favourite that unfortunately didn't get, but you've got a half decent one anyway.
Not bad. We're on the beach. The main thing is we can park on our swim, which is good. And it was a 3-to-1 chance left that 65, one of the top swims, I know you just interviewed the lad, was still in the bag. So we're overall happy.
We were over the moon. For waiting all that time, and hey-ho, we know that Kevin and Mark a few years ago, they had a big fish off that. A massive fish off that beach, so...
What do you think?
I rate it. That beach has got a track record without any shadow of doubt. Now, for me, the weather needs to be perhaps a little bit warmer, but if the water temperature is still quite good, then you get quite a few fish over there. Tiger Nuts produces very well there all the time anyway, and we consistently see fish in the area, so I wouldn't be disappointed with it. It's certainly competitive.
We're not. Yeah. Very, very pleased for coming out last.
Yeah.
Got to be happy.
Now we've got to go and get some tiger nuts.
So let's have a little look at Lac de Madine. Well, for a start, I'm going to say personally that it's one of my favourite lakes in the whole world. I've fished out here for 20 years and I just find it absolutely phenomenal. The fish are big, they're hard fighting, and there's lots and lots of different tactics and ways that you can fish for them. Now, the lake itself is situated in the Meuse region of France, between Metz and Nancy. 2,500 acres in size, relatively shallow across the majority of its surface area, and there are weed beds, bays, islands, and all sorts of dam wall areas, harbours, etc., that can attract carp. Now, we do know more or less where the majority of the fish like to be at this time of year, but the odd surprise can come up. There's some really, really big fish in here as well. They go to over 70 pounds with an average not far off 20 kilos. Anything less than 25 pounds, 12 kilos, that is a small fish. So expect some really decent action. Now, when we look at the lake itself, there is a big island in the middle. The one side of the island fishes pretty well, the other side not so. At the top end, there's an area that's been re-pegged this year. This is a reserve area, and this is an area where it has been one from in previous years when you could fish up there, but then it was taken out. It's back in now, and believe me, all of the competitors will have their eyes on trying to get into that area. Other hotspots are the woods, the reserves, and also, would you believe it, the harbour area is also really, really good, and there's a swimming area that produces an awful lot of fish. There are problems. It can be windy, there are boats, there are also crayfish, and there are the odd 1 or 2 catfish as well. So the guys will really, really, really have to have their tactics bang on if they want to win this prestigious event. So it's competition morning and we awake to a very different day today than we saw yesterday. The sun was out, the sky was blue, and just look at it today. We've got cloud and we've got quite a lot of wind. Now that wind has a big effect on a number of things. First and foremost, just getting out onto the banks is difficult. Madine is 2,500 acres in size, which means that it can pick up a big wind, and just look at the water behind me. These waves will pick up and they make just moving around difficult, let alone fishing. Now, the competition starts at 2 o'clock. It's morning time. There's a big logistical operation to get guys out into their pegs. The lads that are on the bank, they can drive there. That's nice and easy. But the guys that are out on the islands, they've got to get out there by boat, and that means loading all of their stuff into boats and into the big sheep moving truck that they have. And it's a really interesting contraption, this big old metal boat that takes the sheep over to the island and then brings them back again as and when they need to. Well, that is used for fishing, tackle and anglers as well. So they load everything in, move everybody out, and it literally does take hours and hours. That is the scale of the operation here. But nevertheless, we have a competition. The conditions fish-wise, well, they're looking really good. Low pressure conditions This wind is blowing from the far side over into the dam wall, which means that it's going to open up a load of pegs that maybe aren't normally as good if the wind isn't blowing this way. The far side, that's the favoured area. This side, well, with a wind like this, if you were just turning up and that amount of water behind you, you definitely want to think about coming down here. The key now is everybody's just got to get set up, get their kit ready and wait for the 2 o'clock start. So the competition is about to start and the guys are lining up behind me, all of the start marshals. Everybody is notified all the way around the lake that D-Day is upon us. It's going to be a big firework, it's going to make a great big bang. And we are opening up from the swim of some guys that have travelled an immensely long way to come and fish here. They've come all the way from New Zealand. How about that? We didn't even know there was carp fishing in New Zealand, but they're over here and it shows what a truly global event the World Carp Classic is. So we're in peg 75 now, and I'd just like to have a look and show you what this peg is like and just how complex this style of fishing can be. So for a start, just have a look down here, just behind me, a cut-off tree stump. Now, this is a man-made reservoir. It was made about 40 years ago, and it used to be a big forest in the area. And what happened was they came in, chopped the trees down, left the stumps, just chopped them at ground level, and over the years, the water has just eroded away the soil around the outside of them. And this, in big continental terms, we call a spider. So it's like a spider sitting on the floor, but it's a tree stump. Now, these are fantastic because they attract lots of crayfish around them, you get mussels on them, there's loads and loads of food, but you can imagine the sort of difficulty that you can get with those on the bottom. It's why decent fish finders and echo sounders are really important, so when you're going over the top, you can find these things and fish by them, but avoid them. But that isn't the only difficulty. We've seen all the way around the lake, there is an awful lot of weed as well. And there's a big bank of dark weed out here in front, going out to about 150 metres. Now, the water is relatively shallow, so as we go out from the bank, mud and problems. It's not a comfortable place to be. Stepping a little bit further forward where the rods are, you see the dirty coloured water. That's very shallow where the wave action has muddied that up, and that's where the tree stumps are. And then you go out into the windy bit, the water colour changes as it drops deeper, but then you've got weed, and the weed is a significant problem. Firstly, you need to find an area that you can present a bait on the bottom, nice and clean, because if it isn't clean and it gets caught in weed, the fish may not pick it up. Secondly, if you do get a bite, you've got to be able to go out and get the fish or bring the fish through the weed as well. And thirdly, with the amount of wind that we've had, the weed breaks off and blows through the lines too, so there are all sorts of problems with this sort of peg. However, with snags and with weed, this is where the fish live. Just have a look at how the rods are pointed in the air as well. They're high up on stands, they're pointed in the air to keep that line out of the way of all the trouble. And you'll also see 3 bank sticks over there. They've got small rings in the top of them, and the line is fed through those rings, once again to keep it out of the way of danger. These guys are also using something called a polyball rig, and it is literally exactly what it says on the tin. It's a polyball that's threaded onto the line, so the lead sinks to the bottom, comes straight up off the bottom to the polyball, which holds the line above the weed and hopefully out of the way of the snags. That will give them precious minutes to be able to jump in, get out over the top, and hopefully net their fish. This place is for big boys. It's tough, it's hard, but the rewards are there. With the event now underway and the sun shining once again, the competitors took to the water, got their rigs and baited areas ready, and it wasn't long before the first reports of fish came into the HQ. Well, gents, first fish of the match, got to be pleased with that one from this area as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not known as quite a difficult area, so very pleased. Yeah, got here early and set the traps.
Yeah, no, it's done well, I think.
Well, I would have bet against you catching that, I've got to say, because down here it doesn't produce many fish, and a good fish like that early on, that's absolutely fantastic. Talk us through tactics if you can do.
Sort of fishing over about 4 or 5 kilo, so 20 mils, stuff like that.
Excellent. So big fish, big baits?
Yeah.
Big fish, big baits. Yeah, we've gone to the boundary. When we come in, we've seen fish out there. So we thought that'll be where we'll start and work our ways back if we can. Or hopefully hold some fish out there and a few more will come.
Fantastic, good effort. Your first time in this event as well,
yeah.
Realistically, you know, let's be serious about this. That is a very, very good fish, not just for this area, but actually for your score sheet as well. I think last year the smallest fish of the top 3 was slightly smaller than that one, so that's definitely worth it. You know, it's a great start. If there are 2 more of them out there, you're up there.
We're going to try and find them if they're there, definitely.
Just having a little trip around the lake now, and just have a look at this. This shows you what this place can be like. Over there, it looks lovely. Just have a look that way. It looks absolutely horrendous. That's what this place can be like. You know, the other side of the lake, it's got hardly any wind at all. Down here, chucking it down with rain, blowing right in our faces. This is what we call hardcore extreme carp fishing, and this is why this event is so good. Just a couple of fish out overnight, and the following morning dawned with good news for some and tales of woe for others.
We've got a big drop-off at about 150 meters. There's a big drop-off there, 5 to 6 meters deep. We had 2 blistering runs during the night. First one at 2 o'clock this morning was a bream. We had it on 2 boilies. So and 5 o'clock this morning we had a carp. The wind was blowing so bad that we couldn't go out on the boat, and we lost it just on the mussel bit in front of us at 5. So yeah, it was just a learning experience.
Morning time now at the World Carp Classic, and guess what? It is absolutely freezing cold. The coat is on, the wind is chilly, and it's changed direction a little bit, and we're in for a reasonable amount of weather over the next couple of days. The wind's actually picked up, and there have been quite a few fish caught through the course of the night. Nothing in the daylight hours. We saw that fish yesterday for the English boys up on the island, and it was interesting that it came from an area that isn't really favoured. Well, guess what? The opposite side, the area that's known as the dark side, it's a wooded area. Traditionally in the World Carp Classic it doesn't produce too many fish. Well, it has this time. It's also produced a really big one as well, 23.8 kilos for the German team in Peg 87. An absolutely fantastic fish, and that will definitely be one that will count on their upper limit if they get those 3 fish they need to compete for the overall first place. So why are they being caught down there? Well, there's been a bit of a rule change, and this is what's really interesting about the event at the moment. You're allowed to go out in boats to a fixed limit distance. That fixed limit distance has previously been 250 metres, which meant that area wasn't really that good. They've opened it out a bit more now, so you can take the boats out to 300 metres. Now that's had a massive impact. It might only be 50 metres, but it means you can get in the old riverbed, and that seems to be where the fish are at the moment. Now, I've heard of fish coming from 6 metres deep, which is one of the deepest areas of the whole lake, and I've also heard of them coming from 1 metre deep as well. So it's a real spread at the moment. Where are they coming from? Everywhere. The favoured pegs are producing a few, the unfavoured pegs are producing a few. There haven't been a load of fish caught, maybe a dozen in total so far, and the leading swim at the moment is that one everybody wanted, Peg 75. 65 hasn't done anything yet. Peg 75 will actually produce 2 fish, a 19 kilo fish and a 17 kilo fish, and that puts them well and truly in the lead at the moment. They're the only team to have caught 2. And of course, to win this event you need 3 fish on that scoreboard. They will come, but so will the weather, and that's going to have a massive impact on how people fish. First thing in the morning now, Peg 48, and we're in one of the Polish teams. This is Jaroslav Ulfig, Witold Smolak and Mariusz Gregorich. Please forgive me if the pronunciation wasn't exact, and they've got this rather splendid looking mirror carp which puts them towards the top of the table. There are 1 or 2 starting to catch now, and this is a decent looking fish. The fish just on the sling at the moment, and it is 20.1 kilos. 20.1 kilos.
Good guys, well done.
We are very happy because I am the first one in the WCC. Witold is 5 times in WCC. This is a surprise for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a very good place here.
Yes, I think yes. This is good lake because it's many flowers in this water.
This is good.
No sooner had we left the Polish team that we heard the German team in peg 87 on the island had caught a brace of massive carp, weighing 24.3 and 22.8 kilos. Guys, just one night and 2 fantastic fish. That's a brilliant start for you. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, we're so happy. We're very proud to catch 2 beautiful big mamas, yeah.
What did you think when you first chose this place? Because it's not got a very good history.
Yeah, many people said it's not a good place to fish here. And we think, puddle of mud here. Yeah. We have one small weed bank outside, but it's all the same deep. It's a little bit, 20 centimeters from 4 meters 80, 5 meter 20, so a little bit.
What would it mean to win this event? You have 2 very big fish now. How would you feel if you won?
It's unbelievable to catch some or 2 nice fishes. And it's a dream to come on the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
It wasn't long after we saw that fish from the German team on the island that we heard news of a very, very significant fish on the mainland. It was a big one, and it came to peg 28, a team that had already put 2 fish on the bank. The big question is whether it would be big enough to put them into the lead. Great result for you now, 3 fish.
Yes.
When are you catching them, daytime or nighttime?
All in the daytime.
All in the daytime?
All in the daytime.
And that's just today that they've started coming through. The wind's working well for you.
Yes.
But it's a problem too, huh? The wind is too hard.
Talk to me about how difficult it is to fish in these conditions.
Because the electric engine is not enough. You have not enough force. Power is not enough. You must row with it. And it's hard. Working.
But with the fish comes the hard work. You're the first team to catch 3 fish. Your smallest fish is 10 kilos.
10 kilos.
You have a chance of increasing that, of course.
Yes, but they catch big fish there.
So we're out on the water now, and you've heard us say a few times about the fact that the weather's going to come in and might cause a problem. And I've got Ross with me now because we're out on the safety boat, just checking what the position is like. And we've spoken about boat bans. Just talk to us about what the rules are with those boat bans and why they come into existence.
Well, the thing is, it's obviously a safety feature to make sure all the anglers are safe. That's the first thing. And what's really interesting is you can see that around this side of the lake, it's actually really quite calm. Yet already over the other side of the lake, the weather conditions are actually starting to get quite a big chop. We've got 55-mile-an-hour plus winds coming in for tomorrow.
That's massive, isn't it? That really is. That's the back end of Hurricane Irma, presumably, coming over and causing problems over here, but that's a lot of wind.
It is, and I think, obviously, these inflatable boats is a fishing competition, and really, I reiterate that, safety comes first.
So, there may be a boat ban. Now, what that actually means, as far as the competitors are concerned, is that boats are not allowed on the water. Now, the warning has been put out already to let people know that this may happen so they can prepare, and what they might do is start baiting a little bit short. And the guys on the back of the wind, they might think, well, you know what, it's not bad where I am, but when you're in the teeth of the gale at the other end, we've seen already the Dutch guys there, they can't even get the boat out at the moment. The engine is not big enough and they can't even point it straight. So key is, let's keep an eye on the weather, let's see exactly what's happening, and let's put everybody's safety first. But a big chunk of water like this, it can be risky. Action once again, and this time it's from the Czech team, the defending champions from last year, the guys that won at Nova Malinska. They've come to France, they're trying to defend and get a back-to-back win, which nobody's done before, and you know what, they're on the board. The fish hasn't been weighed yet. We think it's going to be just shy of 40 pounds looking at it, and we'll see it in a minute. But the key thing is, firstly, daytime bite, which doesn't normally happen. A lot of the fish here come out in the darkness. Secondly, look where we are. We're on that back side of the island again, facing the dark side in No Carp Alley, the bit that nobody wanted, and yet so far there have been 4 very big fish from this sector. There's a good chance at the moment it could be one from here, and this has just spun the whole event right on its head. But enough of that for the moment, let's find out how big this fish is.
we went for quite simple rig, strong. It's actually the same rig that we've been using on Nowomlinska last year when we've won, and we are fishing two 21mm waftes with quite a long hair and size 4 Centurion hook, which is strong and it's good for, you know, good hook hold in a big fish's mouth, with long mount snagger for just better turning and catching hold in the bottom lip, and then coated braid straight through, 25 pounds, and little split shot just to help with the turning and keep the things down on the bottom. So simple, strong, effective. We are using the long hair based on our experience from before with big bait, and if you imagine the size of the big fish's mouth, it just, you know, gets very good hook hold, always in the bottom lip in the middle. So that works for us.
What size leads are you using?
We are using heavy leads because there is a lot of wind, there is a lot of floating weed and everything, and we struggle with that a little bit, but we want to keep our rigs in place as long as possible, so 280 grams, 10 ounces.
The night was challenging with massive winds battering the competitors all around the lake. However, the fish fed and some big ones were caught. Some anglers had a good night where others have really struggled. Morning time at the World Carp Classic, and as you can see, the weather forecaster has got it absolutely bang on. The wind has picked up, it's raining now, and conditions are nothing short of treacherous. There's a boat ban in place, and that will have a massive effect on what will happen through the course of the day. What does it mean? Exactly what it says on the tin. Boats are now not allowed on the water, and that ban will be in place for up to 24 hours. Now, you might see that I'm being blown around a little bit. The wind is that strong, I'm not making this up. It's banging in from behind down to the beach area, but fish are still being caught. Last night was even stronger, and through the course of the night, one or two lads had their bivvies blown away. One or two have actually decided to disappear now because it is a little bit too tough for them. It's still incredibly atmospheric. It's still well and truly open too. We've heard of a few fish come out through the course of the night, one or two big ones as well. A 23 kilo fish from the small island, and also a near 20 kilo fish from by the dam wall too. Now these are also, just like the other parts, areas that don't normally produce big fish, or many fish, or sometimes even fish at all. So the game is well and truly wide open. We're not halfway through yet, plenty of time still to catch fish, and all of the carp anglers watching this will know that when you get big weather like this, you get big fish, and when it calms down, it's game on. You've had a bit of an exciting night, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, as you can see there, we are now homeless. 4 o'clock this morning, we had the front of one go, and we heard Dave say, "Darren, help!" We come out and we was all bivvyless.
Yeah. No bivvies. Pitch black. All gone. Yeah. Pitch black. Everything blowing everywhere.
Yeah. So, a bit of a traumatic experience. You sorted out now, though?
Yes. Yes, just about.
Yeah. What do you think of the event, and what do you think about the place?
Fantastic. Lovely lake, isn't it? Beautiful. Beautiful. So many spots. Yeah. I'd like to fish, but you've got to make the best of what you've got in front of you, so which is what we're trying to do.
So, we have news, and the news, if you're in peg 36 and peg 37, is very good. This is peg 36, and as you can see, there's a rather large common coming out, and this is just downwind from the tip of the island where the German guys caught their 2 very big fish yesterday. And if I was a betting man, I would bet to say that some of the big fish have moved down with the wind, because 2 pegs right next door to each other, 36 and 37, have caught 2 very big fish. In the hours of darkness next door, caught a fish of 24 kilos, an absolute whacker. And just look at this, that's not going to be far off 20 kilos, if not a little bit over.
A little bit over, I think.
Yeah, that's a great fish. It's a common, and clearly the big fish are in this area. So we're just going to go through the weighing procedure now. And for those of you that aren't aware of what happens with these fish, it's the big 3 that count. So the sling has been put onto the scales. It's been settled at 0, so the sling doesn't weigh anything. The scales has been wound back so it doesn't weigh anything at all, so that will be 0. The fish will be put into it, and this is a common carp. There's a lot of really nice mirrors and common carp in this lake. The ones with no scales, they are mirrors. ones that look like goldfish, they are common carp. And we'll now put this onto the dial scales, which are sitting on a tripod there. And let's get a nice close-up and see what this weighs. Anything over 20 kilos is a good fish here. And I think you need 3 20-kilo fish to be in with a chance, and that is a great fish. 22.4. Wow, that's a great result.
You should congratulate him. He caught the fish.
Congratulations. So,
thank you.
A new best for you.
It's my new PB common. Yeah. We actually lost a big fish in the night. The engine fails, the battery, and the line was in the snacks, and we lost it unfortunately. And now in the morning we had to take from a distance. There we go. And that's my PB common.
Looking at all of the places I've been to around the lake, this looks like one of probably the better areas because it's comfortable to fish. You've got the opportunity of being able to fish it effectively as well. Yeah. And that's one of the things when the weather changes like this, it's not about fishing, it's about fishing effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And,
these are the conditions you want. And on an event too, I think. So, we're happy with that.
Now, you've already got the rod back out. The boat ban is in place, but you've got the rod back out at 300 metres. You've got a bait boat.
We've used the bait boat, and it was
tried to drill
very
it from
close.
the bank, and it's heavy work. It's a lot of work with these wind conditions and a lot of weeds, but it's give or take.
Yeah.
If you're gonna fish 20 meters from the shore, you probably won't catch that big fish. So we just give it a go, and it worked out well.
Fishing is fun.
I imagine that I look pretty tidy.
So the wind has now cut down a little bit and the boat roll has been abated, and we see the guys just taking to the water now to find out if there are any fish on their lines. The wind has moved an awful lot of weed around, and we can see patches, great big patches of weed all over the place. Some have been blown into the shore, others have been blown into lines, and others have trapped lines out in the middle of the lake. But as we look across the water now, near the small island of Madine, we see one guy out in his boat, just frantically hunting through a big ball of weed to see if there's a fish on down there. And then just to the left there are another 2 anglers. We believe that's the Dutch pairing of Lars, Bood and his son. And we know that they did have a fish on there to bite in the middle of that wind, but unfortunately they weren't allowed to go and use the boat to go out and fetch that fish. Safety comes first, of course. The 2017 event was really proving to be a classic. Big fish were coming out from all over the lake, with many different areas still in with a chance of winning. Remember, the rules are that the 3 biggest fish count, and with an average size of over 18 kilos and a significant number of 20-kilo fish to be caught, there was still plenty to play for. Biggest fish to date was a 24-kilogram mirror to the Ukrainian team in Peg 71. We've seen a change in the leaderboard. We've seen a change yet again, and this morning we're hearing reports of once again another change. Dutch teams first, second and third at the moment. Peg 75 is behind us over there. Very tricky swim to fish, isn't it?
It is. It's really snaggy, lots of tree stumps and stuff, and the guys are using kind of poly balls and different techniques to actually fish, but they're producing and they're catching some really good fish there.
Absolutely. They've had 4 fish so far. We think that puts them in 3rd place on the table, possibly 2nd. We're just hearing reports about these new fish coming in, so we've got to check everything, but we think they are in 3rd place. 1 minute the sun's out, the next minute it's not, and it chucks it down with rain. It's changing that much. If you have a look, you can see a George cross there just between us and a man in black with a very distinct white hairstyle. That's Tim Paisley. He's fishing with Lee Jackson. They've just had a decent fish as well, 40-pound plus. So there's a lot happening up here, including the wind at the moment. Is the boat ban going to come back into place?
The boat ban from yesterday, that was it, and from now on for the rest of the competition, that's it. Boats are on the water and competition is well and truly on.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look further down the lake now, and our leaders from yesterday, the guys that are in the Comfort in that Lawrence VIP tent, they are catching fish. They had 2, we believe, last night, but not big enough to change their score.
That's right. Yeah, they had 2 fish, 2 small fish, and of course it's the top 3 biggest fish. So those ones went back, and now they're on tender hooks.
Yeah,
we need a bigger one.
They need to get another big one as well, because they've been overtaken by once again another Dutch team. We saw them catch a really big common yesterday. That was a cracking fish. They were down at the bottom end of the wind. That swim that just looked so good with the muddy water, with the shallow and the deep as well. Loads and loads of options there, and that seems to be where the big fish are coming from at the moment. However, there are a few fish coming from all over, and lots of teams are now on 1 or possibly 2 fish that will be counters. They've got a reasonable amount of time left yet. The weather looks like it's going to throw it down. I think we should bolt for cover before it starts raining. And the weather did close in, then brighten, then darken again. But the fish fed, and the defending champions on the island had big news and a couple of big fish to put them back into the lead.
My machine Madine.
It's not over yet, and you know there is loads of things which can happen, as we know, Madine, and it can produce a lot of big fish in very short amount of time. So we are just working hard and trying our best, as we did after we draw that pack on Novomlinska.
First thing in the morning now, and it's the penultimate day. 24 hours left before the end of the competition, and a big fish has come out on the island. It's come to peg 76. It is 56 pound 2 ounces, 25.5 kilos, and it's come to the English team of Benji, Tim and Lee. Absolutely incredible creature. We're going to just take a look at it and then speak to the guys about what they're doing, because they're now really coming into the race. This is one of the favoured areas, but for the first 3 days, nothing at all, and it shows that you should never, ever, ever give up. They've stuck with it. They've battled through the wind. They've battled through the rain and also the tough conditions out here. Just look at that swim out there. There's an awful lot going on, and it makes fishing conditions really tricky. Also, particularly, the wind is blowing directly into their face as well. So that's made life very uncomfortable, but they've stuck with it like the hardened campaigners they are, and they caught one yesterday morning. It was 18 kilos, 40 pound plus. Brilliant start. Another one now, 25 kilos. If they get one more of 17 kilos, they rocket straight from nowhere into pole position. And at this late stage in the game, everyone else is going to be worried by this. This is really, really big news. Big fish on the bank there. A couple of bites, a couple of fish landed.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's talk about rigs, massively important.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, basically, I've always got to use a rig that I think is efficient and is going to sharp hooks and everything, strong hooks and everything, especially venues like this with big fish like this, and yeah, this is, it's quite a simple rig that I actually use. It's an adaptation of the 360 rig, really, which is banned on many UK waters, and I actually call it the Reggie rig. And, but no, it's quite simple. Like, you've got a medium curved shanks, carp spirit hook. I always like the old trusty 25 pound Manchester hook link.
And that's a coated braid, isn't it? Very strong.
Yeah, just never let me down. I don't strip it in any way. I just use it as it is, and it's fairly tangle free. That suits me, and a little hook bead on there, the hook ring swivel running up and down the shank. I think it's all about confidence as well. When you come, especially when you come to places like this, you've got to be 100% confident of what you're using.
It was getting tight at the top now, but another fish for Brandau, Holder and Lezik in 87 gave them the lead yet again. Just over 1 kilogram ahead of Van Leeuwen, Newland and Borinkoff in 75, and 1.3 kilos over the defending champions in 85. But it wasn't over yet. News came over the radio of a big fish being played, and it was the Czech team hitting back. So that is exactly the fish that they wanted. They were after a big one. They've netted it. It needs to be more than 19.3 kilos. I reckon it probably is, looking at that. They look immensely happy, and that is just amazing to witness this live. Just look at the looks on their faces. That is amazing. They've led this tournament for a while. They sadly dropped back as the German pair, just 3 pegs down from them, caught their third fish, which put them above the 61 kilos that these guys had got. They need to change their 18 kilo fish for a carp that is above 19.3 kilos. I've got to say, that looks it. That looks a 50 from here. We need to get closer. I'm a fair way off. But my word, this is exciting. People wonder whether or not fishing is exciting. That's a 50-pounder every single day of the week. I've just seen it go in the boat. That is enormous. 23 kilos, 200 grams. That will solve the problem by a long way. It needed to be 19, 23. That's going to put them on 64 odd kilos. We'll check the mathematics on that very soon. So peg 75 now, and just look at the faces and the smiles on these guys now. They were in the lead first thing this morning. They got overtaken by the German team and the Czech team, but they've hit back now. 17.5 kilo is their smallest fish. This one will knock this off that list.
We really needed one like this.
If this is 23 kilos, this puts them on 61 kilos, which I believe will be third place. If it's grams above that, 200 or more, it'll put them in second place. They're chasing 65.1 at the moment. They need to increase by another 3 kilos. One more fish of 21 kilos or more, and that will put them in first place. They are back in the race. With just one night left to go, there were now 5 teams in the leadership race. Checking the leads, Germans needed 1 big fish in peg 87, as did the Dutch in 75. And the English in 76 could also take the title with 1 good fish. But who would it be? Most of the leaders caught fish through the night, but it was the English team of Tim Paisley, Lee Jackson and Benji Petushnik who, with 2 magnificent fish through the night, emerged as winners in the morning. Their overall weight was simply too much to catch, and the 2017 World Carp Classic champions were crowned. And that is what it's all about. The new World Carp Classic champions. And so to the presentation. First up, it was the team winners, and a magnificent victory for Team Carper Us. Their 3rd time they've won this class. Next up was the biggest fish award for Lee Jackson, Tim Paisley and Benji Petushnik with their magnificent mirror of 25.5 kilo. Carol Nickel, Jakob Kumster and Jan Darak took the Champion of Champions award and then returned to the stage once again for their 3rd place overall. Second was Germany, Sebastian Brandau, Florian Holder and Emil Lesic with a great performance from a very unfancied area. But the overall winners and 2017 World Carp Classic champions were England's Tim Paisley, Lee Jackson and Benji Petushnik.
It's been a great event, you know. It's, at the end of the day, you can't pick and choose what picks up your bait, can you? And I just got lucky, really, on the sizes, you know. And but it was, I just had a little feeling. I had a different feeling coming into it this year. I had a sort of, you know, you just get that 6th sense, didn't you? But the 6th sense was running out yesterday.
To win this thing finally since 1998, when Jacko and I were both here on the island, giving it large, and we've been coming back and coming back. And, you know, we've won this and I could just try it.
I'm so very proud to be part of that team. I've been friends with Lee so many years and have come now with Tim and Lee together the last 7 years, and this year was the first time we really had the feeling that we could win this. And last night we knew we would need 2 more fish. The 3 of us would be sitting under the stars singing Que sera, sera. What may be, may be. And we wished for those 2 more fish that we needed, and within a couple of hours we got them. It was unbelievable.